Are you trying to reduce your weight? Some of you might have put some extra kilos and now you have no idea or you are struggling how to get rid of those extra kilos from your body. Some of you might have put some extra kilos and now you have no idea or you are struggling how to get rid of those extra kilos from your body. You might have tried several methods, for example, doing exercise or doing some sort of dieting or taking some medicines or pills that are heavily advertised these days, but obviously these medicines or pills are not good for your body. So in this video series, I'm going to cover my whole journey, which spans over 20 years, the battle that I fought against weight. And I'm going to share my experiences, some advices, what to do, what not to, and obviously some recipes, some diet that I have been following since 4 to 5 months, in which I was able to reduce my weight from 92 kilograms to around 72 kgs that I'm today. So I'm going to share those recipes, those experiences with you. So if you're interested, please watch this video series. There will be 17 episodes, and from this day, I will be trying to upload each and every single episode and every single day, so that in 17 days you have a general idea what to do and how you can fight your battle with the weight. I'm Harrison here and welcome to my Facebook page and YouTube channel. As I mentioned, I'm starting a video series today in which I will be basically talking about my own experiences and my journey towards losing weight. And as I said, there will be 17 episodes. Obviously, I'll be going to share my experiences and recipes. So today is episode number 1, which is basically a kind of an introduction and what are the basic things that you need. What is the list of equipment that you should be using, and what is the list of groceries, some advices and some measurements that you will be doing today. And obviously from tomorrow and onwards, I'll be sharing my recipes. Obviously, I have not made videos of when I was cooking the food, but obviously I have taken pictures and I'm going to share the steps with the pictures so that you have an idea that what I have done to reduce the weight. But obviously before that, I'm going to share my background so that you have an idea that how I fought this battle. And my battle against weight loss spans over 20 years. So it all started in 2005 when I just have completed my A levels or intermediate equivalent to A levels basically. And my dream was to go in Pakistan Air Force. And when I went to a test center, the recruiting test center, they asked me to stand on the weighing scale. My height and according to my age at that time, my weight should be around 74 kilograms. But when I stood up on the weighing scale, my weight was 80 kilograms. So basically that was the day when I realized that I need to decrease my weight, obviously, because I wanted to go to Pakistan Air Force. It was my childhood dream. So I tried different things. So first of all, I started with, obviously, somebody advised me that I should do running all day, and then I started running. And obviously, I controlled my diet, and I was able to reduce my weight, and I was able to do like 74 kilograms in about 15 days. Obviously, at that time, I was quite young. I can put a lot of effort in. But again, I was not able to sustain it, because once I was 74 kg, I went to the test, I cleared the test. But for some reasons, I could not go into Pakistan Air Force. But after a few months, when I stood up again on the weighing scale, my weight again gone up to 90 kilograms, 91 kilograms. And then obviously it was mounting. And then obviously I tried to do some sort of diet or exercise in 2007, 2008 and 2009. When I was about to complete my bachelor's degree, my weight was about 95 kilograms and I was very worried what to do. So again, I did the old traditional things that I tried earlier. I was basically running a lot, eating very little. I was starving, and then I was able to pull back my weight to about 77 kilograms. And then in 2009, I came to Islamabad and continued my master's over there. And those 2 years when I was doing master's, I was using public transport or walking a lot, and eating balanced diet, for example. And during those 2 years, I was able to maintain weight. But after that, from 2011, I start gaining weight very rapidly. And you might have seen the pictures that I'm just going to show in the video as well. In 2015, I got gained a massive weight of 106 kilograms. You can see in the picture, you have an idea that how much obese I was at that time. And then I realized that I should do again some sort of exercise or some sort of running or doing dieting. So I again start starving again, not eating anything. Then I reduced my weight to around 85 kilograms, and that was maintained for a few years, 85 to 90 kilograms. And then every single time when the holy month of Ramadan came, I used to control my diet a lot, and I used to lose about 5 to 7 kgs. And then let's say I was 92, I came to 85, and obviously in the whole year I will gain again 7 kgs, and then in next Ramadan I would control my diet and then go back to 85, 84. And this continued for several years. And when I came to the UK in 2022, my weight was 85 kilograms, and the routine was very similar here as well. In Ramadan, when I used to measure the weight, it was about 92 kg, and then 85 after Ramadan, and then it builds on to 92. I tried several things. I went to jogging, I went to hiking as well. You might be able to see in the pictures as well. I tried different sort of diet, but it did not work for me, because fundamentally what I was doing, I was reducing weight, but then I was eating again carbohydrates or wheat, for example, or different sorts of ingredients, and I was not counting how many calories I should be eating. And because of that, obviously I was not doing calculations. Even though I am a scientist, I am a physicist, I should have done those calculations earlier, but I did not. And when you eat more calories, for example, then it means that you will be putting on more weight. So this is a brief introduction of myself, that what happened over the course of 20 years, and then what changed in, let's say, last 6 months. And now I think I am able to maintain my weight. Obviously it is more scientific, and obviously it is based on some research as well. So I'm going to share all those kind of things. Now, in the second part of video, obviously, whatever your weight is, whatever your height is, whatever your ethnicity is. So for the second step you need to do, you need to go to, because I'm based in the UK, so I'll be referring to NHS website. The link will be given in the description. You go to the NHS website. You need basically 3 things here. You should measure your weight on a digital weighing scale. Do not stand up on the analog weighing scale, because what I found is it is not accurate. For example, when I was measuring my weight on an analog scale, and let's say it was giving me 78 kilograms, when I was on the digital scale on the same day, it gave me 83, 84. So analog weighing scale is not accurate. It is not good calibrated. So you should be using a digital weighing scale, and I would suggest use standard units like kilograms instead of pounds, but again it depends on your preferences, because it is easier to communicate, because kilograms or centimeters or meters are used everywhere in the world now. So the second thing you need to do is you need to measure your waist, you need to measure your height accurately, and you should be able to measure your weight with the digital balance accurately. And then go to the NHS website that I've the link is given in the description. You just put in the data, and then you will be able to see 4 different categories, that whether you are underweight, you are normal, you are overweight, or you are obese. So for example, if a person like me, my height is 180 centimeters. So if I am 89 kgs and above, then I'm considered obese. And if I am anywhere from 74.4 kilograms to 89, then I'm considered overweight. And if I'm anything from 60 kilograms to 74.4 kilograms, so there's a range, basically, I'll be considered normal. And if I am below 60 kilograms, then I will consider underweight. So you should be targeting your normal healthy weight range. You should not be underweight, you should not be overweight, and obviously you should try to get yourself away from the obesity, because obviously there are many health problems associated with obesity. There's a lot of research about it. So you try to be in normal range, and obviously there's not a single weight, there's a weight range. So for example, for a person like me, the weight range is from 60 kilograms to 74 kilograms, and currently I am 72, and I don't want to reduce any more weight. I am just going to balance it, and I'm just going to stay around this range, so that I'm not overweight basically, and I don't want to lose too much weight as well. So as I mentioned, you go to the website, and then you can calculate, and then obviously it is going to set you a target. Obviously it will help you that how many kilograms you need to reduce, so that you have a target in your head, that what you are trying to do and what you're trying to achieve. You might be trying to reduce 10 kgs or 20 kgs or 30 kgs depending upon that, but the recipe, the plan that I'm going to share in this video series would be the same. Now the third step, obviously, you need to follow some recipes, the diet plan. What I found throughout in my weight loss process is that the diet is about 90%. You might have seen Amir Khan's latest statement as well in the interviews. Obviously, these actors, in order to justify their role, they put on weight and then they reduce weight. And you might have seen Bilal Bhutto Zardari as well. When you talk to these people, obviously they are quite rich. They can afford dietitians, they can afford gym instructors and all that. But fundamentally, if you see their videos, they are talking about reducing carbs, reducing basically carbohydrates and obviously wheat, and obviously reducing oil or fats, for example, from your diet. And these are the essentials. So obviously, I will not be talking about exercise in this video series. I will be mainly talking about the diet plan, the diet I followed. Obviously, you need to do a little bit of exercise so that you do not lose your muscle mass. But mainly, I reduce my weight from diet and not from doing extensive exercise. I've tried extensive exercise as well, but obviously your body cramps up, and then after a few days you will lose interest, and then you will back to normal weight or whatever the weight you were on before. So obviously I will not be suggesting any heavy exercise. I'll be talking about, okay, you can do some light exercises as much as you can, like 30 minutes of exercise. But if you can't do it, obviously I'm a teacher and I could not find any time to do exercise during my weight loss journey recently, in which I reduced from 92 kilograms to about 72 kilograms. So I could not do exercise during this period of time. So I reduced all this weight using the diet plan that I followed. So in this video series, I'll be talking about the diet you should be able to maintain. And I think for the weight loss, it is about 90% contribution comes from your diet and 10% comes from your exercise. So if you are able to maintain your diet consistently, then you should be able to get the results. Now, obviously, the next step is obviously the equipment, the minimum equipment that you should be having before you start, preparing for your diet and planning for your the meals that I will be talking about in this video series. So there are certain essential equipment that you should be having. So the first one is hand blender or hand mixer. You should have it, and obviously you should have a blending jug. Obviously the pictures you can see, anything similar to it will be all right. You need a digital kitchen weigh scale, like the ingredients, for example, how many grams of sugar you need or how many grams of certain ingredient that you need to put on. So obviously, if you are not able to measure your food, then it means that you might be able to eating too much or too less amount of food, and that is not good. So you should have a weighing scale as well, and it should be digital. And obviously, the fourth essential equipment is basically digital bathroom scale. As I said earlier, you should not be focusing on analog one, because analog weighing scales are not accurate at all. So you should buy a digital one. Obviously, initially at the start, it might cost you money, but later on for a longer run, because you are able to see what is happening, you'll be able to maintain it, because you should be measuring your weight after every 2 or 3 days, or maybe regularly, depending upon how convenient it is for you. But obviously, it is an asset that you will have. And now I'll be talking through a list of grocery items that you should have. Obviously, I'll be talking about recipes, different ingredients. So you should have the list of groceries in your mind, that what is required and what is expected, so that you can have those ingredients. Obviously, I will try to make it quite easy, specifically for Indians or Pakistanis or Asians, where you will be able to find these ingredients very easily. There might be some ingredients that are difficult to find, but they are not essential. You can always replace those ingredients with some basic, ingredients. So first of all, to begin with, if you the first essential thing is seeds, and you should be able to find pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, sunflower seeds, and obviously chia seeds and flax seeds. These are the very basic seeds. If you're not able to find some of these seeds, then you can replace with any available seeds which are edible from your supermarket or from your area, but seeds are essential. Then the second category is basically fruits. So you should be able to have any seasonal fruit available, including mangoes or dates. Some people don't recommend to eat mangoes, but obviously if you eat a quantity which is little bit, which is not too much, then obviously it should be all right. Berries, if possible. If you live in the Western countries, there are blueberries, or there are different sort of berries available. If they are available in your location, that's fine. If they are not, it is perfectly all right. And obviously avocado, again, it is not compulsory. If you have it, if you're able to find it or afford it, that is all right. If it is not available, then we can replace it with any other food. And then I'm talking about vegetables. So to begin with, no potatoes, no peas, like to begin with, because they've got loads of calories and carbohydrates. So I will not be using potatoes or peas in my recipes. You need onions, you need tomatoes, cucumber, ginger and garlic, mushrooms, capsicum, corn, lemon, beetroot, pumpkin, and any seasonal vegetable that is available. It might be Spanish, for example, or other green vegetable that is available, those kind of things. You'll be able to see in my recipes. Obviously, if you're not able to find the vegetable, then you can replace it with another vegetable. And then the next thing is important thing is meat. In meat, I'll be using chicken, fish, or mutton. I will not be using beef. If you are a vegetarian or a vegan, then obviously you need to replace these choices by any other suitable similar kind of diet, for example. So if you're vegan or vegetarian, then obviously you should not be using meat, obviously, but you can still follow the diet plan. You can just replace those kind of ingredients with the vegan options, basically. And then obviously we need some spices as well to make sure that we are not eating the food which we do not like. Specifically with Asian background, we need a lot of spices to give our food the flavor. So obviously the list of spices that I've got is salt, for example, red chili powder, coriander seed powder, cumin seed powder, and then obviously there are different sort of brands which actually sell like karahi masala or kebab masala, for example. So you can get a few of those to just you can play around with these spices, obviously depending upon your taste and flavor. And then one more thing is the chaat masala that you can find from different companies. I'm not going to endorse any company over here, so it's totally up to you, your choice, which one do you like. And then obviously there are some certain general things that you should be having: eggs, obviously, milk, cheese, bread. But again, in bread choices, we will be not trying to use wheat-based bread. We will try to use the bread which is made from either, for example, there are some people who are allergic to gluten, for example, so we might be using a bread which is different, or which has got some sort of different kind of seeds inside it. So depending on, but we'll not be using too much of it. We need to, and similarly, some people have issues with milk. So you might replace with almond milk, and I'll be using almond milk in this video because obviously if you're not if the milk doesn't suit you, for example, then you need to talk about different alternatives. And in this video series, I'm going to give you some all other options as well. You need black chickpeas, you need split chickpeas, you need red beans, you need lentils, you need roasted black chickpeas, roasted peanuts, obviously green tea, brown, black tea. We will be using brown rice. We will not be using white rice in the recipes. I will not be using wheat at all. And I found that if you don't eat wheat, nothing happens to you. I have this myth in my mind, and many people talk about that if you do not eat wheat, then you will not have enough energy. We are not doing extensive work. Many of us, basically, we are doing these days office type work. We are not doing physical exertion, all the time. So, wheat is only essential only for those people who needs a lot of physical work for example. But in general, day-to-day life, I don't think so, because I think wheat is one of the main culprits in terms of the weight loss, and I found it. And also, I literally know that with the wheat, if you consume it too much, obviously, we put on too much weight. Obviously, it is a source of carbohydrates. Again, in Asian diet, wheat is a major part. We always try to eat roti all the time, but we should be avoiding it. And in the recipes, you won't be able to find wheat-based, recipes. But obviously, I will give you some alternates that you should be able to follow, and they are very delicious, to be honest. Like, I've tried it myself, and you should be able to see the effects of the diet that I'm going to tell you very quickly. And then, obviously, there are certain things that if you're able to do it, it would be great. Stevia, for example, stevia is a plant-based sugar. It has got 0 calories. The compound, the chemical, the molecules inside that, they do not absorb in your body, so they give you a sweet texture. It is not a like of a sweetener. It is basically kind of a plant-based sweet. If you're able to find it in your superstore, it is fine. If you're not, then obviously you don't need to get it. It is quite expensive as well. The next one is quinoa. Again, it is an alternate to rice. I will be using in some recipes. If you're not able to find quinoa, then we can use brown rice, for example. And then I will be using whey protein powder. It is basically taken from the milk. Again, it is not essential. If it is there, obviously you don't want to lose your muscle, so I've used in some of my recipes. If you don't have it, then obviously we can replace this ingredient, or we don't use it at all. And the last one is collagen protein powder as well. Again, we don't need too much of these two powders. We just need little bit amount of it, and in some recipes and not in all recipes. So again, if you don't have these ingredients, like 4 of them, stevia, quinoa, whey protein, or collagen powder protein, then it is completely all right. But everything else you might have seen is quite easy to find, and this list of grocery, you should be able to find it everywhere. Now, the next important point is about the calories. There's a website, there's a calorie calculator you might be able to see on my screen as well. Basically, this gives you an idea that according to your weight and your height, what is the minimum number of calories you should be eating every single day to maintain your weight. If you eat more calories than the required calories, then it means that you will be gaining weight, basically. And if you are eating less calories, then you will be reducing weight. It is simple as that. Basically, calorie is kind of an energy. For example, if you have to travel from point A to point B, you need to put petrol in the car, obviously. And if you have your tank full, for example, then the tank cannot, if you put more fuel in, it will overflow. But in our bodies, because it is a biological system, what is going to happen then if you eat too much of food, then obviously it will become part of your body, and then you are going to gain weight. And if you're going to put less fuel inside it, your body needs fuel, so your body needs energy to do different sort of activities, then obviously it will try to extract whatever is stored in your body. So this is simple as that. So fundamentally, if you are losing approximately, or if you're not having 1000 less calories every single day. So for example, if your requirement is 2000 calories, and if you are eating 1000 calories a day, then it means that you will be losing approximately 100 grams of approximately 150 grams of fat. So in 1 week time, you should be able to reduce 1 kilogram of weight. This is a simple calculation. So it is very hard to actually eat 1000 calories less every single day, because obviously you can do for 1 or 2 days, or let's say 5-6 days, but then your body starts to crave more calories, and then you suddenly eat too much calories, and then you will back to the normal weight. So the main idea is that you go to this website, see how many calories you should be eating, and then obviously each and every ingredient that I'll be talking about will tell you how many calories it has got inside it, a rough calculation. So based on that, you can know that how many calories that you have eaten in a day, how many calories you need. So if there's a difference, if you have eaten less calories, then it means that you are on your weight loss track, and eventually with the passage of time you will lose your weight. And obviously you have to set a target how much weight you want to reduce and in how much time. I will not recommend reducing weight very quickly, because I've seen in my past, like in my weight loss journey, that it will come back very quickly, because you're essentially losing your water, especially if you are in a humid conditions or like hot conditions. Then if you do extensive exercise, you will quickly lose your water weight, but when you drink water, and again it will back to the normal. So you're not losing your fat fundamentally. So this process that I'm talking about is quite scientific. You need to basically reduce your weight gradually over the period of time. There's no need to rush. You can set a target for, let's say, 4 to 5 or 6 months for, let's say, about 10 kgs, for example, or like 15 kgs, or even less, for example, and then you can continue, following the diet plan for a few more months, and then you will be able to see results. And obviously, once you are ideal, like you have reached your ideal weight, then obviously you can eat more, and then you can eat less on the next day, and you can balance out, basically just like what I'm doing these days. Some days I do eat a lot, or I cheat a lot, but then I realize next day on my weighing scale, and then I control my diet for, let's say, 2 days, and then it's easier to maintain. And now I have been maintaining the weight for like about a month or so, or about 2 months, and my weight has not increased or decreased. Yes, sometimes obviously if I eat too much, it will go up, but then it will go down again. I'm not need to worry about too much. But once you are on your normal weight, then you can come back to the normal. But once you're following this diet plan, obviously you need to be strictly following it. Otherwise, your journey will not be completed, and you will not be able to succeed in your goal. As I said, you need to see the calories, for example. And then the last one, very important, is your persistence is the key. You need to do it consistently. You cannot follow the diet plan for, let's say, 1 week or 2 weeks and then stop doing it. It is a journey for maybe few months, like 6 or 7 months. So if you are signing up, for example, if you want to reduce your weight and you're really serious about it, then it means that you have to, depending upon how much weight you need to reduce, you can reduce a lot of weight. Again, the simple calculation, as I said, even if I want to reduce weight today from 74 kg to 60 kilograms, I can do, again, same thing. What I have to do is reduce the number of calories that I'm eating, and I can gradually reduce more weight as well. When I came to the UK in 2022, my weight was 85, and it was 85 stable for like many years, 7 to 8 years. As I mentioned, I used to gain weight, and during the holy month of Ramadan, I used to shed it down, 7 to 8 kgs, come back to 85, and then go to 92. And I was thinking that I will never be able to go to my ideal weight, which is my ideal weight is around 72 kgs, which I wanted to achieve. But once I followed this diet plan, I was able to reduce up to from 85, or like I started with 92, and then I went to 85, and then 85 to 80, and like gradually and slowly within 5-6 months, I was able to reduce to 72 kilograms. And if I want to reduce more, I can reduce more by eating less number of calories. So it again depends on you, what is your target. And this plan really works. It worked for me, it worked for my wife, and I think it can work for everybody else. I've talked about Amir Khan or Bilal Bhutto Zardari in my video. It is a very simple thing. The simple thing is your basically number of calories, how many calories you're taking, and again the diet plan that you should be following. And obviously this is more about changing your lifestyle. If you go back to normal, if you're eating again more carbs and more sugars and everything, then you will put on more weight as well. So you have to think about at this age that what you want to achieve. Obviously you can have cheat days, but obviously you have to maintain your diet. Obviously you have to get rid of certain ingredients and then take in more those ingredients which are healthy for you. So we'll talk through those ingredients obviously as as this video series progresses in episode 2 and 3 and so on. So as I mentioned, the consistency and persistence is the key. You should be able to do this regularly every single day so that you can achieve your goal. So in summary, basically, if I just summarize it, what you need to do, you just need to do some basic calculations, your weight, your height, your waist. You need to set the target, and the list of ingredients that I've already mentioned, you should be able to get those lists. And then from tomorrow onwards, I will be sharing my recipes. Obviously, I have not made a video while I was cooking, but obviously I've taken pictures of what I've cooked, and then what are the recipes, what are the steps that I follow to make those things. To be honest, they're very delicious. They are simple recipes. They can be made from the ingredients I've chosen, and you will not be feeling hungry. That is the main thing. Basically, the diet plan that I followed will keep you full. Your stomach will not be empty, but you will be losing your weight at the same time. But you have to follow the diet plan very strictly. And again, please get the list of equipment I've mentioned, because it is essential, and also the grocery list. So then see you tomorrow. I will be making episode number 2, and again there will be 17 episodes. So this is episode 1, so to next day will be episode 2, and so on. And I will try to upload every single day these episodes, and then I will explain that what is the next step. For example, obviously I'll be sharing 2 weeks recipes, and then what's going to happen is you will be replicating, or you will be slightly changing these recipes, or the diet plan according to your needs or according to the ingredients that you've got. But if you follow for 2 weeks, then everything else will be in a cycle, and there are different sorts of recipes that I've used, so I'm going to share those. So please share my video with anyone who is basically looking to lose the weight, for example, in your friend or families. Many people are having issues. Obviously we can't afford dietitians, or or some of you might be able to afford those as well, but again, it might not have worked for you. So again, this video series is going to definitely help you in your weight loss journey. Please keep watching my videos. If you have any questions, please do write in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I'm your Hassan, signing off.